is Corey Thorne, the spiritual healer. For the people who are new to my lives, I'm just noticing there's actually a lot of new people on the following and liking of my page. So thank you to anyone who's watching this later. It is real late, and you don't. Good evening. Well, and you don't often see me in here at this time of the night. This is not a. This is late for me, and it obviously looks like it's late. Good evening. Hi, Beth. Hi, Raquel. Hi. So, it's not a normal time for me to be here. So I look like I should actually be shutting down for the night, but I am here, and I'm not sure why I'm here, but I'm holding a heart in my hand, and this is a bell, and it vibration. The vibration of this and the vibrates with our heart. And so there's a heart-centered message that I felt the need to come in to give tonight, as I'm supposed to be off, and I'm continually in here, obviously. So really, Christy? Well, look at that. I wish you would let me have a freaking rest. No, I'm joking. Was just having a cry and thinking of you, how much healing you have brought to me. You're incredible. Oh, thank you, Ashley. Or Christy, thank you. I'm reading yours, and then Ashley's joining as well. Merry Christmas, Ashley. Hi, everyone. See, Edie, hi. Susan, hi. And Sophia, if you're here as well. Sherry, Stacy, you are still up too, Brenda? Lisa, hello. And Sherry, hello. And Lindsay, and Jody, hi. And Jennifer, hi. And Leanne, hi. So I'm actually sitting with my grandfather's teacup, and I was with this earlier. I did a session with all of my girls in the More Than Existing community today. So if you're in the More Than Existing groups, in any of the groups, or you've ever been in the More Than Existing and you're in the More Than Existing community, I did a big, like an hour and 15-minute live reading in there today, a message. So if you're in that group, go watch that one after or tomorrow. I know it's late. Hello. But I'm sitting here with the same cup I had earlier today. It's my grandfather's cup. My tea, my cup and saucer. My little newbie grandfather. And I always say he gives me messages of hope and to be content with who I am and to find peace in my life is what he does for me. And so tonight and today I knew he's here. Hello, Leslie and Lasan, hi. And Jess, hello. And Des and Kimberly, hi. Kadri, Carrie, hello. Not feeling very beautiful right at the moment, Carrie, but you were just going to sleep. Sorry, Jody, waking you up. I don't know why I came in here, actually. I heard come in, and I felt the heat in between my shoulder blades. I always call it my angel wing nubs, of when I know the angels are tapping on my back and laying their hand upon my back. The center of my back heats up. And so I just kept hearing, go in. And I kept putting this off for like hours. I'm supposed to still be working. There's so much that happens in this work that I do that leaves me hours and hours in the not so glamorous parts of the job that I spend in here helping and assisting Lisa, who's really putting her blood, sweat, and tears into getting our book proposal ready for Hay House. And also, the work that comes with writing all the other books that go with this one. Hoping to soon, hopefully by February, we'll have the book going into the second book going into publishing. And we're working on the Oracle cards. So there's a lot happening in my office right now and a lot of paper stuff everywhere, plus doing other work. But I keep hearing, come in here. So I'm in here, and I'm going to Mother Mary. And I feel like I just had, so I had to write down some of this. You had a rough couple of days? So yeah, I think this is here as a message of hope. And I feel like right now, there's a lot of energy out there where we do need a lot of hope. And there's a lot of people are really good in this energy. There's a lot of energy that feels really, really good to a lot of people. But when energy shifts and the energy changes, it depends on where your alignment is, which, where this energy, where the planets, the moon, all of that is in your house, in which house of your astrological birth chart that it's in, and whether or not you're going to feel good, or whether or not that you're experiencing some of the faded moments of life right now, or you're going through, your memories, your times of Christmas, and this season is not always the most beautiful season for everybody. So I just feel like this is a message of hope. I feel like it's a message of love. I feel like it's a message, not feel like, I know it's a message from Mother Mary and the angels. And I just know that the angels are with us. So as I wrote this down, I seen hands pouring in something, like there was something pouring in, and I knew it to be unconditional love. And as I was feeling and sensing this unconditional love tonight, I'm writing about, my journey through more than existence. And Lisa said something really good to me. Lisa Richard, who owns Loving Energy Recharge, who's also a part of the More Than Existing School, who's also, is also the editor of the book, who's also writing the book proposal to go into Hay House. And so she said to me, perseverance. And that was one thing that we could honestly say during this whole process of More Than Existing, of this, or of my whole life, is that, and hers and many other people, is that sense of, it's taken a lot to do things with nothing. It takes a lot to have nothing but faith and hope, and run off of faith and hope, because there was times in creating this and my oracle cards, and in creating this business in the school, where literally I was running off of faith and hope. I don't mean like, oh, well, maybe, there's all this money over here, but I don't want to spend it. I mean like running off of zero, no energy left, nothing left but faith and hope and unconditional love for the business and for what I do. And so perseverance is huge. So what the message really was coming in is the hands that are opening and the hands that are flooding in, and the sense of, we may be at a crossroads in our lives. You may be at a point in your life, a turning point, a point of change, a point of clarity, a point of awakening, awareness, whatever it may be. You may also be at one of the points where you have to make some of the biggest choices and decisions in your life. And I asked the spirits to tell me, give me something. What would be a word? What would be the advice that we can give in these times? And what I kept getting, and it took me all the way back to the sense of the death, the dying of us. When we have to let parts of us die, or we have to let pieces of us be gone or done, is that things, the spirit that came through told me that when they left, or when they leave, when they left Earth, it was, things are as they are. You can't change nothing. You can't run back and do anything last minute. You have to make peace with the way things are. You have to make peace with the way things, you have to make peace with what you have and where you are. And making peace with everything seems very difficult. And we fight it, and we struggle with it, and we put so much, we try to control it all. But in the very end, when they are leaving Earth, when those loved ones are dying, when they're about to leave Earth, there is no more time to go back and do other things. We had a lifetime of moments. And we always say we're in a rush, we're in a hurry. I have all these moments. Hold on a moment, or I got this to do. I'll come back in a moment. I'll come back to this. I'll come back to that. You have 1,000, and I did a recording about this, and I haven't put it out yet. And you have millions of moments in a lifetime, but you only have one life. And that one life really, truly matters. And if that one life matters, you have to know how much you matter, and that you truly matter. And so the hands wide open that they're showing me tonight, the message that they wanted me to come in with for everybody, was one of, in that sense of of having to leave behind 2020, having to leave behind, I guess, so many other things. What Spirit told me was that you have one life, and what you're going to do with it in this present moment, and to have hope and faith in this one moment is truly how we're meant to live our lives. What do we do in this moment? How do we live these moments? How do we show up in these moments? And so I got this, what they were telling me was that as things are, what things are as they are, is this whole sense of just, there's, debunking. Debunking is what they're telling me. And I'm channeling now, guys. So it's like, so what they're telling me is, they're telling me that there's all this sense of, as they're leaving, that things are not always as they believe them to be. Things were only what they had experienced within that life, but leaving, they seen that there was multi versions of everything else that could have been. And so if there's a possibility that things could be different, or that you can make things different, that we have today, we have this moment in hope and faith to start to commit to a sense of believing that we have the ability to make things different. And that starts within us. And that starts with us really, truly going inward and understanding that in the moments of letting our lives, letting the pieces of us, letting the day end. So letting this day now be done. So at the end of this day, it is now a dead day. It's now a done day. As we sleep, we become a part of the omniscience of it all. We become a part of the same essence of the spirit beings, because we detach from control when we sleep. When we sleep, we detach from the suppression, from holding it in, and we let it go. And that's a chance then for the connections for spirit to be able to reconnect us, to fill us full of more beautiful information, more love, to recharge us, to build us back up, so that the next day we start again. And so in that moment, we can have hope that for another day. We can have faith in another day. We can have a belief that there's another day. There's something more. But the big word was that where and how we operate from. And if we continue to operate from the fear, we're not going to be able to, what's going to be flowing from our hands to another is that whole sense of if we can operate from hope and faith in our sense of being in a powered up self. Imagine how we can help people who are not be able to power up, who are not able to get that strength today. So the ability to be a better world is in our hands. The ability to be a better human being is in our hands. And if we keep waiting and waiting and waiting to do things different, to be better people, to do something different, we're wasting time. We're wasting moments. And it all starts with right now. We have right now. And that's what we have. And so your first tattoo, Leslie, is faith and hope, right? And so, yes, Wendy, you get me twice in one day. What was with the moon earlier? There was a shadow on the right side of the moon. Not sure what it meant. I don't know, Edie. I wasn't looking out tonight. I was inside of this office, and I can't really see the moon here tonight. I'm not sure what we had happening, but we have a full moon coming in. And so this is where the energy is shifting. And so I'm only doing a message right now as Mother Mary cards, and just for everybody, for a general, and I don't know what it is. And I got a lot of energy happening. Like I said to you, I came in, I was in my office, I'm supposed to be working, and my back started to heat up. And my angel wing area, call it, that's my messenger area, start to light up. And I just have this sense that there's something in the energy of just saying that, you know what, some people tonight are pumped and happy and cheerful and full of that hope and that faith. And I hope that we can continue that somehow. But we also have another flip of the coin and on the other side. So as things are. And so there's this sense of the message that I got was when we leave this earth, it is it is what it is. When we leave this earth, it is what it is. We can't change it then. It's too late. It's done. And so it's the same thing with your day. It is what it is. Everything that happened during the day is what it is. Can't change it. It is what it is. And so in those moments of, and so in the day, whatever happened in that day, we can't take it back. We can't go back. And so it's the day that now left. And so, but there's a new hope and a new faith for the next day. And what do we do with the next day? And what do we do with the moments as our day is ending? And I always give, for me, I always end my day in prayer. And I always give myself the ability to just let everything go. But that's taken me years of practice. Today's the day your grandfather died. Well, I'm sure he's with you because my grandfather has me drinking out of a tea and cup. So I can tell you the energy that we have here right now is definitely grandparent spirit. So everything that's coming through is from our elders. It's coming through from the wise ones, from the channels of the ancient ones, from the wise ones that are just telling me, stop. Why are you carrying tomorrow? Why are you carrying today into tomorrow already? Why are you carrying yesterday into today? Why are you continuing to carry these days through? Why are you continuing to carry 50 years ago into today, into tomorrow? Why? Why are we continuing to carry the past into here? Why are we still living in the hurts of 100 years ago? Why are we keep bringing this alive? When they left, it left with them. Their experience left with them. Us making a choice to live in their experience is us wanting to not let that experience die, to not let that leave. And we have to be willing to move beyond their experience and create our experience, to create our lives. Because this what we do is causing us misery. This holding their experience captive is truly holding us into some sort of misery. When we can truly rise above that and move into into a sense of peace. Right? Right in the presence of now. Yes, Jessica, exactly. All of us channels we're all channeling from the same source. It's just a different voice, a different face, and so how we communicate it out. It's all right now. Because I wasn't good enough. Yeah, right, Leslie? And so we carried that experience through. But who were you not good enough for? Right? What were they I always say, what were they trying to create in their experience? Were they trying to be better than? Were they trying, when you think of why they were creating their experience, what was the why behind their experience? And your why to your experience? What is your why to your experience? And why do we continue to do that? And so if we let their experiences die, because they can't change it in the moment. How many times do you see people in the last breaths, the last months, when they find out they're leaving, then trying to make up for all the moments that they missed or all the moments that they wish they had of. I shoulda, coulda, woulda, making up for broken relationships and all those things. And then they tell us, if just sit with me, just listen to me, just listen to what I have to say. Let me tell you this. And so that's the beauty and the joy of being able to create the experiences that I create in my ability to sit and listen. Because it's the spirit, it is the divine channels, it is those that walk before that says, just take a moment, sit and listen to me. Listen to what I have to say so that you don't have to repeat it, so that you guys can change it, so that you can do something different. We're not asking you to live in our experience. We're not asking you to keep staying in that moment. We're asking you to live for us, to live even better than we lived, to do something different. That's why the wisdom, that's why the knowledge, that's why it all comes through the way that it comes through. In order for our lives to transform, we can't stay in the same puddle. We have to move beyond those stories. And that takes having faith in what you cannot see, just like you have faith in fear, right? Or you believe in fear. Well, now let's start believing in the faith that you can't see, because if you can't see fear and you can believe in that, then why can't you believe in faith? And so we're being told this tonight, that in this present moment, what you have right now, what can you create? So going to bed tonight, what can you let go of, and know that tomorrow you will not bring this back? What can you let go of? What can you let go of tonight that you will not bring back? Yes, Ellie, I am on holidays. This is how my holidays roll. Because tonight, as I came in, when I speak of the ancestors, and people don't know, a lot of people don't know, but one of our ancestors would be, the many people who walked on earth prior to us, like Jesus, who was a healer, who walked on earth. There's a lot of claim to fame to Jesus based on, belief systems, and it's the same with God. And you can have such a fear of the word God. But as I said to Michelle in our last live, or as I said about Michelle in our last live, when I gave her a book to read that mentioned God, she was all freaked out about God. And I said, well, give God a freaking name. Name it whatever you want to name it. I don't care. See it however you want to see it. Just believe. Just believe in the magic of love and the power of love. Believe in the ability that we have something inside of us that makes us special. And this is whole sense of tonight, this was my ancestor who walked in. This was the energy. It was the Jesus energy. It was the Mother Mary energy. It's the power of the healers who walked upon earth that people labeled, that people gave identity. There was a man. He was a man. His mother was his mom, and she was a woman. And they were made into larger in life. And they say, they suffered for us, or they went through this. Who said they wanted to suffer for us? But it's also saying that there's an essence of, we make up the stories of, this great suffering, this great journey. But these were just people. These were just people. And they were people who walked upon earth. So it's the same with all of our ancestors. They were just people. And because they were just human beings, they made mistakes. They did the best they could. They had whoopsers. They had moments. They were somewhere not very nice people in their human existence. And all of that, even on their last days, became, it is what it is. It is what it is. Give your human body the best life experience. Exactly, right? And so this was the other cards that came out, was family and being watched over. So what you're being told tonight is by all from spirit world to hold on to hope and faith. By going to bed tonight, by when you go to sleep tonight, or before you go to sleep, give that gratitude and the thank you for their experiences, or for their contribution, what they contributed to our human existence, what they did bring forward. But then give thanks to yourself for what you have contributed, what you have contributed already to your life, to your existence. And then think of what you need to just say, you know what? I'm not going to bring this into my tomorrow, because my tomorrow is going to be a new experience. And my tomorrow leads me into a place that I can have hope and faith that tomorrow may be a good day. Tomorrow may be an opportunity. Tomorrow a door may open. tomorrow something may flow in, a blessing may arrive. But if we can see the blessing in this present moment that you have, if you can hold the blessing that is being bestowed upon you right now, that a blessing of love, that a blessing of an opportunity to pause, to reflect, to be able to say, hey, I just got a reminder that I need to just let things go before I go to bed, before I go to sleep, so that we can truly be able to start to shift and move that energy. Yeah, we are in charge. We have to take that. You are the ownership and responsibility is up on us, right? No one's going to do that for us. Brandy, people get mad and yeah, you've been so angry and you feel at peace. Yeah, right. And it's a moment, one moment, and so you're entitled to that anger. And that anger comes up to remind us of something. It reminds us of how how we are entrapping ourselves into an emotional story, something that's triggering us. And so it becomes a reminder to remind us, is this serving my highest good? Is this serving the me that I want to be tomorrow? And how do I want to show up in this experience, in this new experience, in this new reality? Because you have this one lifetime as you. And it's amazing how many people only at the end, at 80, 90 years old, only at the end will realize how many moments they let slip away, or how many moments they thought they had forever. How many moments we have forever as a spirit, but not as a human, not as this human that you are today. You have this one lifetime. How we choose to live it has to be on our terms, because we have free will. But a desire to start to create your new future, your new moments from here is life-changing. Live as if your beautiful future is already with you. That's hope. That's how you have hope. Live as if your joy is already with you. Live as if you're already living in that beautiful life. Live as if it's already present. And when you start to live as that, you start to create that moment. You bring it into your now. You bring it into that now moment that you're in. And this is where you start to be able to stay here now, but start to believe. Start to have hope. Start to create it. I forgot I had a candle underneath my arm. Start to believe in that and work from that place. From right here, imagine what you can do. I travel all over the world from right here. I work all over the world from right here. From right here. If when COVID hit and I said, because I did one show. I did one live event back in Slave Lake last February. The book was coming out. We were just getting ready to get shirts, all those things made. And we were just hitting the road to do a bunch of places all over Alberta, across Canada, just going to take this show on the road. And it all got halted. Now I had a choice. I could have got angry. I could have got mad. I could have canceled the book. I could have everything. Perseverance. I stayed dedicated to the future that I wanted to see. I stayed dedicated to something that was coming, something that was already unfolding. Does it look like it should? Is it making the money maybe it would have if I was on the road? Absolutely not. But that wasn't it. It was about me and the creators and the people who are helping us, holding on to something more. And so we did what we do. We built from right here in this present moment. We built all of this during COVID. We built this, we grow it, we expand on it. I spend till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning in this office. I write, I create, I do all of those things. I do what needs to be done in the moment to create the reality of the future that I know I see. And nothing will stop me. Nothing will stop me from believing that that's out there, that there's a beautiful life, that there's a beautiful tomorrow. But there's a real tomorrow, and there's a real life, and shit is going to happen. And I know that. We're going to have faded moments. I'm going to have to go through grief. I'm going to have to walk through fires. That's real. That's life. But that beauty, that hope and faith, that's that strong that I see what is there. Making that change. Yes, Jessica, baptismal, right? In the present moment of baptizing Jessica. Right? I always wanted to be baptized. That was her words. Well, let me baptize you. And that's it. In those present moments. And the ongoing story of that is that I baptize myself every day in the bathtub. I cleanse off the day. Stand in the shower. That's my baptismal. I let it all fall away. You have a present moment to create those truths, those stories. The hot tub stories, Brenda, right? And so, oh, good job, Wendy. I'm so glad to see he's moving in there. So I'm just reading through some of the messages. Yeah, it's all about coming home to you. It's about finding your way back to you, finding your way back to your heart, finding your way back to here. And so as things are, when we're leaving, the omniscience is being able to see beyond human. Human is as human lives. Human is, that was my other message. Human is as human lives. So what you believe of yourself to be is what you attract. What you believe your world to be. So whatever your human is what your human reality looks like. And what your human world will look like. If your human is beautiful and it radiates, and I don't mean just all dolled up and pretty, I mean beautiful, kind heart, be good, compassion. And you can be, Leslie, back to Leslie here, and Leslie talked about anger. You can be compassionate. You can be compassionately angry and not bitter angry. And there's a big difference. You can get compassionately angry, but not be bitter angry, not to be resentful angry, not to be envious angry. There's a huge difference in those angers. A compassionate anger means that for the first time in your life, you're actually feeling for you. It means you're listening to the soul self. And that soul self starts to call out to you. And it says to you, are you really going to believe this bullshit? Are you really going to believe that story? Are you really going to hold on to that? Really? Are you really going to hold yourself accountable for everything that ever went wrong in the world? Really? Are you going to let your life slip away? And so being compassionate towards you means that you will have to experience that sense of what rises the desire in you to want to fight for you. That rises the why for you to have to take a stand. That rise in you, and that doesn't mean to knock somebody else down. That doesn't mean to belittle somebody. And it doesn't mean to hurt and harm people, because that two wrongs don't make a right. It means that you're making a choice to choose you. And so from that place, when we can use that sense of understanding, compassion love, kindness, and compassion in our words, we transmute, and I write this through More Than Existing, through all of my books. When I transmuted my anger to a voice of love, I could then write my story. And until I could do that, I couldn't write my story. I had to transmute that anger because I didn't want to spread more anger into the world. There was enough of that. I want to be an activist of love. And I wrote that today in my message on Instagram. I'm a love activist. And that's what I believe in, love. And I believe in the power of love. And I'm also a realist, and I recognize life, and I don't have my head in the sand. I listen and to all sides. I believe there's a truth beyond the truth that you want to believe. I always say that. I'm like, beyond the truth that I want to believe, that's leaving me comfortable in keeping my insecurity safe, or me wanting to live in my world, in my reality. There's another truth beyond that. And I'm awake and I'm aware to that. And I'm not going to argue somebody else's truth with them, because that's also theirs. I stop that because that is also theirs. And so we have these, but your eyes lie. Your human eyes lie. What we see with our eyes is not always the truth. And so our loved ones from the other side see everything. And they also see the existence of what we do to ourselves and how we're still holding on to past. And so as we move forward, and as we're moving into a new era, into a new time, and we have the full moon energy, is that we allow ourselves to feel safe. We allow ourselves to feel safe in the existence of our emotion, of moving beyond our emotional story, and freeing ourselves to find contentment and liberating ourselves in the sense of surrendering over what's out of our control and letting go. I thought I was choosing that, but I am now aware I wasn't. I now will choose this for me. Yes, exactly, Leslie, right? And it's like we never really know. And so these beautiful loved ones are just showing us that there's so much love surrounding us, and so much, and so every time we want to jump into even a judgment, we read an article, and we read, we read the this and that of it. This happened, and this person was involved, and this person was involved. They didn't do this, and they did that. But how many more things were affecting all of those decisions and choices? And how many isms out there are distracting us from life? How many distractions do we have? How much is pulling us away? How much are we trying to comfort ourselves in nurturing our insecurities and our fears? And if we stop nurturing our insecurities and our fears, and we allow ourselves to take off that shield, and we be vulnerable and real in the moment, then we're truly going to be able to see something in more of the omniscience view. Because that was one big thing, was that I could no longer nurture my own insecurities and live in my own bullshit, is that I had to make a change. And in order to make a change, it takes ownership and responsibility. And that if you want to, it's moving beyond the karmatic debts and moving beyond the past. And to set yourself free means to actually have to look really deep at you, but to also have to go full circle. I always say we get the bits of information, and then the material world starts to give us some comfort, or we make one or two choices and we start to be able to move into this. Yep, I got this now. Got it all figured out. I don't need to do anymore because I got this. That's when we quit. That's when we quit. The existence of us means that we never quit on us. We never stop that part of the journey. We keep moving. We keep moving forward with loving action steps towards remembering that the person that truly will always have to matter is going to have to be you. You are going to have to matter. And so, just can't make this shit up. I had to go to the other cards just to validate this crazy late night reading and why I'm here. Why I'm in here when I'm so beyond break is make a choice. Stop procrastinating. Is that, see, there's this, there's that. And we get so caught up that we don't make any decisions. So it also brings up that addictions when I talk about isms, and we get like, oh, well, I don't have no addiction. And I always hear that. And so I'll always hear someone say, I don't have no addiction. I'm so glad I don't have any addiction. Just my smoking. Or just my chips. Or just my phone. Or just that relationship that I'm addicted to. Or just that narcissistic behavior of somebody. Or just drama. Or just gossip. Or just, right? It's like all of these things out there, all of those distractions, they're what we call isms. And so as long as we're still crunching, munching, numbing ourselves, or distracting ourselves in making somebody else's life better, or doing the things outside of ourselves, we're still not making the choice to fully choose us, because we're still numbing something. And I'm not judging that. I'm just saying, don't judge somebody else because of theirs. To know that when we say we think we got it, we don't always have it. And it took me a lot of years to recognize the places where we still will be in that sense of isms. So when the whole world is constantly numbing itself by wanting their own way, wanting to really nurture those insecurities, is that we can't get clear. So when we get clear, we can only get clear when we clear out the clutter, when we clear out the junk. And when we start to know that your desires has to come from a place of not pleasing and pleasuring the insecurities, which is the part of the ego that is based on fear. It's the desire to do the right thing for the right reasons, which may not always look like to the world or look like to you in the moment that this don't feel very right because it's very uncomfortable, but it's the right that comes after. Leslie. Don't care. Just stay. And so we're almost done. And so then we have the need to move on. The need to move on, to be able to move forward, and to be able to move forward into your journey. In order to challenge ourselves or to be able to make changes is challenging ourselves to do something different than we did the day before. And that's our message of tonight, right? Is that what is my priorities? And if you're not on top of that priority list, we got something to seriously talk about. I got a program for you called More Than Existing if you're not that priority. And so when we're so far away from home, we keep saying, I need to do this, or I need to go home, or I need this, that means we're too far away from here. Coming home to here is just knowing that sometimes we're going to have to leave these experiences behind. And so it's like, what are you experiencing from life that's not your experience? What are you carrying or what are you living in that's not your experience, or that you're trying to recreate of the past experiences that are not yours? And it's killing you. It's destroying you, because like setting Christmas freaking dinner up and you still want to look like your grandmothers or your mothers or your friends, or right? It's like this, it kills us to have to try to live in somebody else's experience and try to recreate it because it left us with a good memory. It doesn't mean that it's your memory. And you have to, it doesn't mean that it's your memories of today. It means you have to create that for you and for your family and for your friends and for whoever's around. But it's mainly so that you can have your moment in the present, your present moment. And then protecting. Last card. And protect what you have created. And this is our sacral and our solar plexus. And this is and this is about you really truly creating. I love that, Raina. You had pizza. We had prime rib. And so protecting what you created. That's protecting everything that you are building and creating in you today, and creating and or protecting it in the way of saying that I'm not going to give up. Perseverance. That no matter what's happening, I've worked too hard for this life. I've worked too hard to be this. And even though I still got work to do, and even though there's still work, whoever you are today, and that you're right here today, you've done something right. And you've probably done a lot of things right. So when we talk about the things that we need to let go, also find the things that you have done right. And start to make that list. Congratulate yourself on those. Reward yourself with a moment of pride of saying, I have done a lot of good things. I have been, right? And we want to protect those things. We want to hold on to those things because they are your jet fuel. They're the things that fuel you back up to remind you that you have the strength and the courage inside of you to do the tough things, to do the hard things, to make those choices on the hard days, to keep the fight, to stay alive, to protect what is yours, and so that you can become the activist of love like me, so that you can truly start to have that compassion for yourself to be able to move forward with faith and hope that tomorrow will be one step closer towards that beautiful life. But you have this one life. You have 1,000 moments, but you have this one life. Don't let those moments get by without remembering to sit and pause. So, thank you for coming in and listening through this crazy message, channeled message of tonight. I hope in some way it served you. Hope it resonates with you. And as you can all see, I do more than, this is mediumship still. It's another way of doing mediumship. I channel through Jesus, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin. There's not many I don't channel. And so when they come with messages and I hear it and I'm being pushed, I step in. And as crazy as it is, it's definitely worth the journey. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for staying till the end to get the end message. And I love you all. Much love. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Good night.